Ireland, Durban, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
lovely. Thank you. Thanks,
Dominic, sorry.
Dominic. Jesus, there's two of you now. Really going to do
Thanks,
my
Jirka. Thanks, Seamus. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brendan Brady, and I'm the Sales and Key Account Manager for SGS TransitNet here in Ireland.
Huh?
Just give you a brief introduction.
You can't hear them.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you doing? Sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you now, yeah, work away.
Lovely. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, everyone. Thanks very much, Seamus. Thanks, Jirka. My name is Brendan Brady, and I'm the Sales and Key Account Manager for SGS here in Ireland. I'm just basically going to give you a very brief introduction to SGS and SGS in Ireland, and I'm going to hand over to Jirka, who will take the TransitNet and Brexit presentation for you. So SGS was established in 1878 and was initially involved in transforming the grain trading and agricultural inspection business across mainland EU. And here we are, well over 100 years later, where SGS has become the world's leading inspection, verification, testing and certification company. We're recognised as a global benchmark in quality and integrity. We've employed over 89,000 people worldwide, working out of 2,600 laboratories and offices. And across 11 different global industries. Our global network allows us to support some local expertise, obviously from a vast range. Here in Ireland, SGS has become active in Ireland over 40 years ago. We currently have a network of 38 locations around the world, employing over 300 people. Our head office is based in Naas, and we also have a call centre over in Galway. A wide range of inspection, verification, testing and certification services across a variety of business lines, including the agricultural, minerals, oil, gas and chemicals, automotive and industrial services. Some of the range of services, or some of the providers that we would have, we'd work with the RSA, road safety educators. We've an in-house IT development department who work on IT solutions for our customers. We support and resource the NDLS driving licence centre. Our lab in Dublin Port supports the aviation and chemical fuels testing industry in Ireland. We work with private companies as well as government agencies, and as an outsourced and trusted partner. Most recently, we've received authorised consignor status from Customs and Revenue, which allows SGS to open transit declarations under the simplified procedure. So with that, I will hand you over to my colleague Jirka, who's based in Geneva and who will take you through Brexit and TransitNet.
So I'll turn off the video so you concentrate on what you see. Sorry. Okay. So thank you very much for inviting us today. It's your lunchtime. I hope this session will not be a problem to your biologic transit, because we all know that transit from a customs point of view has never been so digestible. We'll try to make it easy, understandable for you. Hopefully it will work. So just 2 words about myself. I'm with SGS in Geneva since almost 15 years. And before that, I was working for 18 years at the IRU, International Transport Union, responsible for the TIR carnet. So there are maybe amongst you membership, a few colleagues who remember the TIR carnets of the old days. And then I stopped, I quit IRU in 2003, joined a small startup company to design a product services for related to NCTS and transit. And in 2004, SGS thought the idea would be a good one for them. And I was invited to join SGS, where I could start to develop this product from the PowerPoint presentation that we did into a global service that we are today. So, so a few words about the implications of the Brexit. So first of all, I mean, it's always a refresher, which is good to remember. So the 1st of January 2021, the transition period will end, and therefore the UK will become a third-party country from a customs point of view. So at the same time, the United Kingdom will join the common transit, meaning the NCTS environment. through which all the transit operations will be handled as it was eventually in the past. It also means that thousands of Irish businesses, including transporters, will have to suddenly get involved into creating declaration, lodging declaration, taking responsibility for customs declaration. So by all means, everything which is going from or to the island will be subject of an export when it goes away, an import when it comes in. And very likely, most of the operations will be requiring the transit between the export and the imports because it might not be easy for smaller enterprises to pre-lodge the import declaration in advance in the port when they arrive in the UK, or vice versa when they arrive in Ireland. So it is obvious that transit will be needed also on the business between the UK and the island, but of course this to a lesser magnitude than the export and imports themselves. But by all means, for those goods which will be using the land bridge, a transit declaration will be mandatory. And that's probably what interests you all more especially today. So, I mean, these are statistics that you are probably familiar with. So to cross the land bridge, it takes 20 hours to get in Europe, while it would take you 40 hours to do that through a roll-on, roll-off route, or even 60 hours with a load-on, load-off route with boxes or whatever non-accompanying containers. So it is of course maybe in the beginning the land bridge route might take longer because of the queues that will start to be visible in the very first days of the switch, but very soon after, probably the land bridge will become an efficient crossing way for your goods. So, but we also have to bear in mind the numbers of vessels, the capacity of the roll-on vessel is very limited, except than those of which are using the channel in Dover. So, maybe just give you a few context about what transit is. Yeah, so. It's your lucky day, it's your lucky strike, I don't know. We'll see that, maybe it's ours. But so basically, in short, if I'm an exporter of cigarettes, from a packet of cigarettes, the value of the goods is 15%. The taxes, duties, excise, and so forth on the same package is worth 85% of the end price and consumption price. So if I am an exporter, I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to pay this 85% of taxes and duties because these goods are not meant to be consumed on my territory. But equally, the importer in the consignee will only be ready to pay taxes and duties and take the responsibility of paying them once the goods have been received in quantity and quality as he was expecting it from the exporter. So between these two elements, the export and the import, goods are then transported between these two elements through what is called a customs transit regime. And this customs transit regime is basically a kind of a tax-free shop, a rolling tax-free shop, as I like to say it very often. So what is the purpose of a transit? It enables, it enables the Irish or British states to secure taxes and duties when goods are circulating on their territory. Just give you an idea, if you have a truck full of cigarettes crossing under transit in the territory, it represents roughly €2 million customs debt, excise, and so forth and so forth. So that's what the customs needs to be secured, is that if anything would go wrong, that they can collect the taxes and duties from the operators which has declared that. And this is not only true for goods which are crossing an international territory, it could also as well be true for a movement from the port of Dublin and the arrival in Naas. I don't know if my geographic is okay, but I speak under your control, Brendan, yeah? So, and the second main element of the customs transit is to reduce congestions at the ports, at the entry of a territory, maybe airports or land borders, by simplifying the controls. So as a statement, we can say transit is not an obligatory customs regime to be implemented, but it's a trade simplification regime, which requires less controls and lighter controls, especially at the crossing between customs territories. So that's for the background of transit. So nowadays in 2020, that's the figures that of the transit operations that are being operated on a day-to-day basis. So 10 million international transit. So this is a transit between, for example, Switzerland and Germany. 6 million national transit, which would be a transit between Hamburg and Munich. This figure of 6 million is really an estimate. No official figures are available for that, but it at least this 6 million from the counter checks that we have done so far. And then you have 1.5 million transit between the EU and the region of CIS, so the Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and this region. So, and on the top of these journeys, you have about 860,000 TIR carnets. And it is expected, according to the books or the reports that one has seen, that there could be up to 30 million additional transit today than those of today because of the Brexit. So it is a huge dimension that we have to look and to cater for. So the magnitude is just completely crazy. So what do we need to do a customs transit? Basically, there are 3 or 4 elements that you need to have. The first one is you have to be able to lodge a declaration electronically to the customs. This means that you have to know you have to know the national and the international customs code rules to ensure that the data that you submit to the customs is complete and as it is expected by the customs. You also therefore need a software to do that. Then you need to have a person who takes the responsibility. So we call it the holder of the procedure. That's the person who will be responsible for any losses or undue pay or undue taxes and duties under the transit regime. And that's the person that will be collected or called by the customs and only that person. And last but not least, to you as such an operator, one needs to deposit a financial guarantee in favor of the customs. So it's a bank guarantee that covers the totality of the customs debt being the taxes and duties in 2 words. That is taxes and duties of all the trucks circulating under transit at the very same time. So we quickly go to what we do as SGS and TransitNet. So we are taking this role of a holder of the procedure. So SGS offered this service to now 25 EU member states plus Russia and Belarus. This service where SGS through its affiliate takes the responsibility for all the declarations that are submitted to the customs. So in other words, if an Irish company uses TransitNet in the future, the declaration will be presented by SGS on behalf of this client. Yeah. So that's the second component. We have, as SGS, arranged guarantees by banks in all the countries we are operating from. Again, I can repeat, these banks' guarantees can be called on first demand by the customs. They don't have to justify if there is a ground to call the guarantee. If a customs transit declaration is not terminated, they can call that. Today, the value of the guarantee that SGS runs on a daily basis is roughly 400 million euro today. TransitNet is also a software. It's a software which is connected to 25 different customs systems. So Ireland, UK, of course, but many others. We will see that afterwards. We are also, through this application, connected to the ports and shipping lines in the south of Europe for the time being. And we have also direct connection with our clients' systems with a view to accelerate the data exchange between the system and diminish the time it takes to enter data into a system. And of course, all this would not be possible if we didn't have an expertise an expertise team who knows the logistics, who knows the transit and industry. And I can say proudly that we have really that team building up also now in Ireland, and we are all very passionate by what we do. And that helps to simplify or to support our clients. I can tell you that. When we started this product in 2005, we went to the Commission in Brussels to present let's say the high-level concept of that, and since then they have systematically confirmed their support to our process, to our service. And when we started to look at the developing TransitNet in Ireland, I was introduced by the head of the of TaxSud to the Irish Customs as much as it was to the British Customs. So we still have that relation together. So in addition, we are also basically, so I said we are people, so now we have about 250 people. We work 24/7. These colleagues of ours are spread over all the member states where we operate from, and we have a back office unit which is there to support all the nitty-gritty problems that may occur under a customs transit problem, which happens unfortunately. This is part of our work. We help our clients before they start their journeys. We train them, we show them, we advise them, we help them during the transportation. If sometimes there is a problem en route, we can intervene at the client's request with the customs where the problems occur. And last but not least, if there is a problem at arrival or the goods are not delivered, we are doing our utmost to through this team to mitigate the claim cases to the benefit of SGS for sure, and of course the client. The application that we have is multilingual. It's a web-based. We support now 22 or 23 languages, and the strength of this application is it's not only the capability to connect to these many customs, but we embed all the customs rules, all the national, regional customs rules, meaning that depending on where our client starts his journey, he will be guided by the application to fill in this field, not to fill that one, and so forth and so forth. So it is a fantastic facilitator, meaning that you don't have to be a transit expert to create your own journey. You are supervised by the application. We agree a profile with each client because every client has different needs. One client wants just to do business from Ireland to UK. The other one will do Ireland, UK, Germany, France, Russia, whatever, you name it. So we adapt the profile based on the discussion and the requirements and the wishes of our clients. Of course, there are certain things that we do not do. We do not transport cigarettes. We do not allow any clients to transport cigarettes. There are additional requirements that we will, of course, then request from those clients we want to approve for cigarette or high-value goods. This application enables any user, as I said, to make his own data entry, but he then can monitor, follow the declaration from the very beginning to the end online as he so wishes. To ease the data entry, we have two different user interfaces. We also import files like Excel files. And as I said before, we have a kind of an ERP plugin, so enabling data to be pushed through TransitNet to the customs, where actually TransitNet becomes kind of a black box, providing the guarantee to the client. We have ERP connection with clients. We have ERP connections with IT provider, customs IT provider. For example, an IT provider in Latvia has no capacity to have the guarantees, but he can provide to an exporter, export, and eventually also forwarder, import. And therefore, when that types of clients will want to use a transit, they will still use the user interface of the software company they are familiar with, and when it goes for transit, it goes through the application of TransitNet to the customs office of departure. We have a great experience, as I said, on the roll-on and roll-off transportation between Turkey and in the EU. And just a few words, between EU and Turkey, Turkey is also a member of the Common Transit, not member of the EU. 50% of the trade between Turkey and the EU goes through ro-ro vessels that heads to Trieste in Italy and Sète in France. And here, basically 90 or 95% of these goods are under transit. And TransitNet covers roughly 57% of all this journey. And last but not least, we really aim to be a one-stop shop. We want to provide we want to include into the service all what is requested for goods to start from the country of departure. I have not mentioned it here on the presentation. Our product is ISO certified. We have won 2 times the prize of the best logistic service in Turkey in 2018 and 2019. I often speak about Turkey because Turkey is, for the time being, our main country or our main client for this service. And last but not least, we have yet no one providing the same service as we do. We have, in every country, there are many different providers, but they work in 1 or 2 countries only. Even the DHLs or these big groups do have national implementation of the NNCTS requirement. They have national guarantees, so they don't have this pool or these shared competencies between the various affiliates of their companies. So our key principles in terms of our business model is quite straightforward. The clients pay the clients pay a fee per transaction. We'll talk about the fees in a few seconds, and we'll give you more information on the variables. The clients have an entry fee of to register and to be trained with the application and the service, and then no monthly fee at all. We don't request guarantees from our clients as long as they operate as per the books that we have agreed, if we can put it this way. They can continue using the service departing from Ireland, UK, wherever they are. We have agreed with them to work for. And every client will go through a light due diligence. We like saying and insisting again and again, it's not because you are a small transporter that you will not be agreed into TransitNet. We have means to ensure that a smaller client or a big client can find their best services with SGS TransitNet. And the clients can be a shipper, a transporter, a forwarder. It can be a rail carrier. It has absolutely no importance. We push the dematerialization. So this is to say that the clients do everything by themselves. The drivers meet the customs where we are working on the normal procedure and present the documentation to the customs themselves. They don't need to have a third party to help them out. And of course, where we are authorized consignor or AEO, the requirements to present the goods at departure is not even more to be applied. So as I said, we intervene very quickly when there is a problem. So because we want to, as I like to say, we help our clients to help us killing the problems. And we are guaranteeing the confidentiality of the data that is shared with us. We have no reason, no means, no reason, no incentives to use this data that the clients will share with us. And every client can access all his portfolio of data through our application, and only his. We are one of our main motto is also to offer a reliability and predictable service, meaning to say that sometimes you as transporter, you will know sometimes the goods you transport is worth 10,000 euro, and 2 days later it is worth 200,000 euro, and therefore the customs there, the guarantee that will be requested to cover these journeys will be very much different. So this is what we are proposing. We are now in the process of registering a guarantee in Ireland of 100 million euro in order to be capable to confirm and commit to this reliability and the predictability of our system. And last but not least, optimization of data entry. As I said, we try to ease the methodology make the data entry by the client himself, or by his users, with a view for the clients to make savings, because he will do this work that he will not be charged for by SGS, and of course to take ownership of the service that is given to him. And last but not least, we are also flexible. Depending on specific types of clients, we adapt our offering and our services. So in terms of fees, just as we speak now, so these are the fees that we propose to the market, and they are at least valid until the end of March 2021. So basically, if I don't know if you see my mouse, so we have a few variables. The first one is the customs debt of the guarantee. So basically from 0 to 10,000, so it's roughly a value of up to 50,000, 55,000 euro invoice value. And that's the first variable. So we have bandwidths, as we call them. The fees start at a fee of 42.50, but any additional declaration in a truck, because maybe you are not aware of that, but you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, many different, many declaration in the same truck. So by declaration, by transit declaration, it can be a pair of consignee, consignor, or numbers, all the goods that are going from one customs office to another customs office. So anyway, this is to support the groupage businesses. So as you can see, the fees grow a little bit as the numbers of declaration are growing. And the third major variable is that if the client wants SGS to do that, we charge him a 15 plus euro additional markup. These fees includes the security data. So basically, no need for our clients to add an additional price for this security data where it will be requested. So, and speaking under the control of my colleagues in Ireland, we really aim to have our clients doing the data entry by themselves. It's easy. We have templates and so forth. So it's something that is doable. So in figures, this is basically our track record today. So we have now 14,000 clients. We work into, as I said before, 25 countries. We do 75 to now 80,000 transactions per month, and we cover 93% of the whole European countries of departure. And what we are particularly proud of is that any declaration which is from 10,000 declarations that are submitted by our clients to the customs, only 4 of them are rejected by the customs. So meaning that the rules and procedure, the rules and so forth, which are in the applications are correct and enable our clients to do that by themselves. A very high level process. I mean, this is maybe, I don't want to insist too much on that, but basically that's how the approach is. You have clients have their username and password access, and when they submit a declaration, first of all, it is checked with the customs requirements to ensure that that they have filled in all the nitty-gritties of the customs of departure, Germany, Spain, Turkey, whatever you want to call it. And once this is done, we check that the value of the customs debt is as per what we have agreed with the client. Some clients we will let them operate up to 50,000, some up to 100,000, up to 300,000 without any additional control of us. So this is these kinds of profiles that we agree with the clients. So any of these declaration is then submitted to the national customs. So in Ireland, it will be your national administration. And then these national customs will share the information, push the information to NCTS, meaning the UK customs will receive an information that this truck is going to enter the UK territory. The French customs will we have a message saying that this same truck will enter France on its way out of the UK. Okay, so that's our coverage today. So in orange are all the countries where you can start a transit. You see a few countries in blue. This is mainly the Nordic states, because in the Nordic states we didn't have any clients which were requesting this service from us. But if it starts to become a need, we will naturally extend TransitNet also to Sweden, Norway, Denmark. But and the same for Czech Republic and Austria, where for the time being there is very little transit starting. With Brexit, we know that the Austrians will be in need of transit. This is something that we are also looking as we speak. So, and you see here that we are also present in Belarus. Belarus meaning that our same application is submitting declaration to the Belarusian customs system with guarantees that we have also deposited with the Belarusian customs. And why Belarusian customs? Because Belarusian customs is part of the EAU, the Economic Union, the Euro-Asian Economic Union. So basically, it's it's Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan. So with this map, you see that an Irish transporter tomorrow who will need a transit to cross the United Kingdom could do his journey up to termination in Russia through one system, one click. Okay, now okay, that's the experience that we have. And now I just wanted to lead you through a few slides to show you the additional requirements that Brexit will put on your operations or any operator who will perform goods transportation with the UK or through the land bridge. So there are customs and other authorities requirements, and there are also carriers. So carriers, by I define a carrier is this roll-on companies and the Eurotunnels. So the first additional novelty is the safety and security declarations that will be requested. So first of all, what is it? It's a safety declaration. It's an additional declaration that any operators who wants to import goods into a country has to make. So basically, if with this requires for example, a British exporter or British transporter to lodge a declaration for security and surety purposes, in addition to his other declaration, maybe transit or an import journey. So this means that this data set of such a declaration, ICS declaration, is a bit more. It's a bit more. How do you say that? A bit more detailed than the traditional transit declaration, but it's very similar. So what will happen on the first for transportation from Ireland to the UK? Until we have 6 months, let's say, of transitory period. So until the 1st of July 2020, these requirements will not be implemented. On the other hand, on the goods entering France coming from Ireland, this request is entering into force on the 1st of January 2021, meaning that every transit that crosses the land bridge will be to provide this data to the French customs security system. So the person who is responsible for lodging this declaration is the transporter when we speak about France. And when we speak about Belgium, Netherlands, or Germany, the responsibility of these declarations sits on the shoulders of the carrier. The good news, as I said before, is that TransitNet is capable, will request this data from the Irish client. So you will add this information data into your TransitNet declaration that you are preparing. And once your TransitNet declaration is submitted to SGS, we will ensure that TransitNet will push this security data to the French customs. So in one click, as we always like to say, you will have the two these two major requirements fulfilled through TransitNet. On the way from the UK to Ireland, it's the same as for France. So as of the 1st of January, you will need to fulfill such a security declaration for goods coming into Ireland. Whether it comes through a transit or through an import declaration, this doesn't change. This will be requested on day one. Again, we are, SGS is interfaced with the ICS of France separately, and of Ireland, and therefore we can submit in one click this transit and security data declaration. And this is the same for the goods if they are coming from France to Ireland. Again, we will be able to, your clients or yourself, you will be able to do that by yourself through the application. Then we have a few additional requirements which are more related to the not necessarily related to customs, but to Ministry of Transportation or the carriers themselves. So the first one is, maybe you're probably familiar with that one, is the pre-boarding notification will become mandatory. This will have to be part of your ticket. So you have to include that into requesting your ferry ticket. This is something that we as SGS will not be able to facilitate because we are not in this capacity to have this sufficient information. And we currently, the pre-boarding notification is not a system-to-system approach, so we cannot reuse the data that is in our application to push it to the customs. This is slightly different in the UK with GVMS, the Good Vehicle Movement System, which has a system-to-system plugin. So here we will enable our clients to get the GVMS through TransitNet, because we will just reuse this data and push it to the GVMS environment or application. We are still not sure where it's going to, if it's going to be applied on every port on day one. Here we are heading, we are quite a bit, let's say, in the expectations of a final decision from the sports managers and the customs, but it looks very likely that the big ports will implement it on day one. So so that's the and again, as I mentioned, this is something which can be processed and generated through our application. This third element in the UK, which will become mandatory, is I always have difficulties to spell it out, is check and HGV is ready to cross the border system. So it's the Kent smart system. Again, this is something where the authorities in the UK have not offered plugins to an existing provider. It's a web application that the transporters will have to fill in separately. So that's it's quite a frustration. I understand. To me, it doesn't make so much sense if you have a ready document for crossing the border because you arrive from Ireland on your way to the UK. You are of course ready to cross the border. That's the unfortunate situation where customs and certain authorities do not speak between themselves in preparing these elements for the first days of the Brexit end of transitory period. So on your way to France, you will have to fill in this envelope, which envelope is the equivalent of the GVMS. This is once again like the Irish approach. It's a standalone user interface which transporters will have to fill in by themselves. We will facilitate this data capture through our offices that or our partners' locations en route to the ports of Dover or the ports of Calais, with a view to ensure that this can be done even in the last minute. It's the same concept. You have one envelope that entails one unique numbers, which supports all the declarations numbers of your export or import or transit declaration. What is important for you to know is that if you are transporting goods through T to Calais, the T2 will not be cancelled or closed at the arrival in Calais. They will have to, the goods will have to be presented inland in a terminal, maybe in France, in Germany, wherever the final destination will be. This is a decision of the French customs, which I think is a bit awkward, but that's how they want to start. That's how they want to start the procedures in the very beginning with. The SPS, so I think this is a major concern for those who transport these goods. What we have been told by the French customs on several occasions, and this was checked yesterday with Calais, is that if the goods are vegetables or food for cattle, no control, provided that they are registered properly in the French envelope. So that's so if you have a T2 with these goods, no problem. For the goods like live animals or animal products, there might be some documentary checks imposed by the authorities in Calais. And what we understand, they will just want to make sure that the Irish origin of the goods is demonstrated. So, so that's still something that we are checking out with the French customs as we speak. So as soon as we will have a better understanding of the frequency of the control that they will perform, we shall let you know through SGS Ireland for sure. And when you are when you will be returning from with goods from France or from Germany or from Switzerland, when you will returning through the land bridge, you will need, of course, to have your T2 open sometimes in any of these countries where we operate in our authorized consignor status location. You will have to provide the French envelope, and you will have to fill in the GVMS because it will be mandatory, and it will be mandatory for Ireland. And last but not least, you will also have to fill in this PBN. You will also have to obtain this PBN from the Irish carriers. On the way to Netherlands, it's roughly it's a bit more simpler. There will be a need to have a notification to the port-based system, which is the Rotterdam port management system. This port base will have to be advised that the truck is coming or the semi-trailer is coming to Rotterdam, and that numbers will then need to be used also by the carrier or the transporters, who will then pull the truck or the semi-trailer out of the port. The good news is that we will be able to generate that message through TransitNet. The development is as we speak, because they have just changed the port authorities have just changed the regulation. On the way to Belgium, Zeebrugge and Antwerp have different systems still. We have the connection to we will have the connection to these two port system, so that this pre-notification of arrival of the goods will be done by SGS TransitNet. No need for security data here, because this is the responsibility of the line that brings the semi-trailer to these ports. Okay, that's a synthetic process of how transit will facilitate the trade. We will give you this presentation afterwards. I suggest to not lose any much time on that one, because it's basically what has been said until now in a form of a sketch. So, with respect Northern Irish protocol, for the movements between Northern Ireland and Ireland, we are still working on a moving target. There is a lot of uncertainties happening, mainly with the guarantees that we'll be able to use and the tools that will be used. But what is important to note is that for the goods that will go from Northern Ireland to the EU through the ports of Dublin, for example, the transit can be open in our offices in Dublin under TransitNet, and this will be the same for goods coming from the UK through Ireland. So again, Dublin port to the UK, to Ireland, Northern Ireland. because the motto is that Northern Irish goods are considered as EU goods simply. So as a very short summary, I'm trying to summarize what I've been saying. Sorry, it takes a bit more time. So for goods going to Ireland, our clients, our Irish clients, will be able to benefit from the service as listed here. So T2, export declarations. I have not mentioned that as we were talking in the previous part of the presentation, but we are now interfacing our application with the export platform of the Irish Customs, so that we will be able to bundle T2 and export declaration in one shot. We are aiming to be ready before the 1st of January. It might be, as everybody's a bit overwhelmed in the administration, it might take a few days more, but this is something which is undergoing. The development has started since 2 weeks on our side. So the third element, we will provide, our clients will have the ICS ENS declaration to the UK, to France, or in return when they come back, they will have the ICS declaration to UK or any EU member states. We will provide the access to GVMS, and last but not least, this is maybe not so important for you, our clients, Irish clients, will be able to transport goods up to Moscow through our Belarusian transit access in that country. And on the way from Ireland, through the land bridge, of course, here, you will be able to open T1s from the UK to Ireland, because you will have our clients will have access. SGS has also a service called I2I Easy JTA, which enables our clients to create export declaration. This system is separate from the TransitNet for the time being, but the idea is that if an export declaration has been created in one of these two entities, TransitNet will be able to pull this information and automatically create the transit declaration starting from the UK, maybe to Ireland, or maybe to the EU. We will have a location in Ashford to support all our activities 24/7, where the trucks can stop, get documents printed if that is requested, or get their declarations entered if they don't have the means to do it by themselves in Ireland. We will provide the ICS ENS to the Irish Customs. And if you are coming from any of the 20 other NCTS countries, you will have the T1, the T2, the T1 from Turkey, Switzerland, or Serbia, the T2 starting from any of the countries which was listed here before. And you can, our clients will be able to use our locations to start their T2 away from the border. And the GVMS will be part of that service as well. So the other services, very quick one that we are offering, we are capable to do import and export in Netherlands and Belgium as well, in the UK, as I said already. So that's through SGS services. So if you are exporting goods to a to a Dutch company, that Dutch company who is maybe not familiar with import now could use the services of SGS Mako in that country. And we are also preparing, we are also hooking our application to a booking platform, so that the idea would be that once your transit declaration is released for transit, you can call you can make a booking and provide all the details that the booking agency needs to cross the channels, maybe by rail or by roll-on vessels. We will have support. We have a team, a partner who will support our operations in Calais and Ashford 24/7. And yes, basically this is it. So if I still have a few minutes, so to wrap up. So I would like to just to refresh and just to repeat again that deal or no deal on the 1st of January 2021, all goods will be subject of export, import, and very likely in transit declaration. And we see absolutely no reason why this would be deferred in time, because nor Boris Johnson, as we have understood, wants to delay it, nor the Commission wants to delay it. The only thing which we heard here from time to time is the possibility that due of COVID, the 1st of January could become the 1st of March or the 1st of April, but this would be the maximum extension. But I would suggest we do not bet on that one. So it is important. You are transporters, you are forwarder. So you must ensure that you are capable to provide transit to your clients, who, if you want to continue to serving your clients in Ireland, in the UK, and anywhere in the EU. And our strength, as we believe it strongly, is the reliability, the predictability, and sustainability. As I said, we have sufficient guarantee. Our application is being upscaled as we speak. We expect our application to manage at least 2 times the same level of declaration as we have today. So everything is being prepared to enable us to be ready on time and to take that additional workload. We are scaling up the team. I mean, Brendan could give you more details on how many people we are now hiring in Ireland, but also in UK and so forth. We are capable to provide as much service as possible for the outbound journey to make it for you a kind of a one-stop shop service. You don't need to be, if you use TransitNet, you don't need to be an expert by yourself. You will save money if you do it, even if you do everything by yourself. And last but not least, we are competitive, we think. We have seen the prices of the competition in Ireland. We were told to be a bit crazy to come with such low prices. Well, that's always a compliment to receive. But I still believe that we are very competitive, and the flexibility we present our business offer is a great asset for you all as well. And so we hope to be this one-stop shop provider here in Ireland, covering all your needs. So my last statement is that bear in mind, it takes time for you to get ready. So we have still 2 months, 6 weeks to go. Consider this proposal. Start to register because with SGS, because if you do that now, the contracts will be signed before, the onboarding will be finalized, the training will be done, and you will benefit from all the additional savoir-faire and know-how that we will be sharing with you. So that's really something you should be considering, and also helping your clients and your partners to do the same. So that ends my presentation. So I'm available for any question and that you may have. And if we don't have enough time, there is the email address at the end of this presentation where you will be able to send a question as well. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, if anybody has any questions, just feel free to please unmute yourself and ask away.
Yeah, can I have a question there? Sorry. Could you sort of outline a scenario where we're collecting, say, group each in Netherlands, Belgium, and France, and what way that would work regards the transit across to the UK? Like, is the logistics envelope, like they're using for customs clearance, still being used in the transit scenario?
There is no relation between the envelope and the transit. These are 2 mandatory elements first. Huh? But so if I got your question right. So the first thing is that you will open your T2 in Germany, in Poland, Germany or in the Netherlands. You may not necessarily submit it to these customs of departure because you may want to open it only when your truck is arriving in the area of Calais. Here in Calais, where we will have our team, you will be able to open the T2 24/7. So you can make the data entry anytime before you arrive to Calais. When your truck gets into Calais, he will stop at this location, present his name and MRN or TSN as we use it, and the declaration will be pushed to the customs 24/7. And on spot, our colleagues, our partners' colleagues, will create the envelope for you, for your driver, and he will cross the channel because he will then be green lighted through the Calais or Dunkerque entries, and at arrival in the UK, everything will be green lighted. Your T2 will be entered into the UK. automatically through the port system. And when you are reaching out to the exit of Ireland, you will present your GVMS notification to the port, and you will have to care for the BNP, I think I'm not mistaken, for BND, PNB notification for the ferry that goes to Ireland. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, but when do we get the initial MRN? Is that when we do the first declaration of the first collection?
So you will receive your MRN immediately after you have submitted your declaration to the customs. So, for example, if you create your declaration, you have goods coming from Germany, and you want to open your transit in Germany with German customs. You will submit this declaration to the German Customs Office of Departure. Immediately afterwards, you will receive your first MRN. If you have another loading in the Netherlands, you will receive your second MRN by doing the same thing. Or you can decide to do everything somewhere in between Netherlands and Calais. That will be your choice.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Just one more thing, sorry, while I have you. The green route that was discussed that has to be approved by the EU Parliament, has that been, what's the scenario with that, or has that been agreed?
The green route?
Yes, that was it was something that was brought up a few months ago, that there was going to be a specific green route for transit via the UK land bridge for especially for agricultural products and foods leaving Ireland to the EU.
Okay. Yeah. So what we, I'm not capable to give you a 100% precise information. What I said in my presentation is that you, if you have certain types of goods which were the animals, you have to be, you might be asked in arriving in France. You might be asked to present the evidence that these goods, that these animals are of Irish origin, but it is the frequency of these checks is not yet known. But obviously, when you create your T2 in Ireland, you will mention the specific cargo that you have in the description, and if needed, you will have to add the this CHED declaration for certain types of goods.
Thank you.
Could I just come in there? It's Tom here. So there are, or there will be, SPS checks in France for Irish food products going through. Currently, they are planning for SPS checks, and they will require notification on traces. With Zeebrugge, they have set up that you have this type of green lane, as you refer to it. Yeah. There will be no SPS checks in Zeebrugge because they're not working on traces. And there is currently a negotiation between Brussels and the French customs to move away from the traces profile, so that we can get our SPS goods through Calais without checking.
Yes, I know this, but you know, being Frenchman myself, the French are very, let's say, defensive here, and so. But for the time being, this is what I have described to you now.
Exactly.
They will do this documentary check, but hopefully they will be able to step away from that. The more that your goods will be coming with a T2, which has been approved by the Irish customs in Ireland. So
exactly.
the ground for your goods to be checked doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So
the option is, if you can, to use Zeebrugge, because it has that green routing in place.
Yes.
Hopefully, in the meantime, the French and the authorities in Brussels will come to an understanding that we won't have to use traces and SPS.
Absolutely. Yeah. So and we are following that, of course, because we know it's an important element for many transporters.
Can I ask a question? If we do a T2 from Ireland to France, can you, with our own guarantee, can you discharge the T2 for us in France? Actually,
it's not our business model. We do not take other parties' guarantee. What is important? We do not provide our guarantee to the providers. What we do, John, is if you are capable to generate a subset of declaration. Maybe we can have an ERP, a connection between your system and ours, where you create your declaration in your own system, and you push the data to TransitNet, and TransitNet pushes the declaration to the customer. But we are not going to provide our T2s without a guarantee, nor are we giving the guarantee without the T2. That's a package that we want to preserve.
Okay, thanks.
But maybe, John, why would you do that actually?
Because we
because you think that you can reuse your guarantee for countries of departures, for other countries of departure.
Well, we have our own guarantee, so why would we pay for something that we don't need to if we have our own guarantee?
Yeah, but if you but if you are coming back from France or from Germany, your guarantee would not be usable there, isn't it?
No, I agree with you there. I'm going to use you for the import transit, as I already discussed with you. So I can raise the T2 for a truck coming up to Calais. I can raise it with you, and then it'll be automatically discharged when it comes into Ireland. So I have that facility for the drivers if they need it.
You see, John, we have been working on this model for quite some time. As you have understood from this presentation, I hope, is that we are adapting to the business requirements. This is something we are a private company. You are a private company. If that makes sense, nothing stops that. But we have to prioritize the evolution of the services. Yeah.
Well, no, but I will be doing the T2 with you on goods coming in from France, Germany, and that.
Welcome.
Okay. Thanks.
Were there some questions in the chat? I think. Will I have a look, Jirka? Or
the questions from the chat. I didn't pay attention.
I'm not sure if I can see them actually. I think there was. There was some questions coming up as you were talking through the chat, but they may have got. I don't know. They may come up later.
No, they're here. Would you like me to call them out? Would that be easier?
If you could, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. So first one here. Presently, if completing a T1 from Dublin Port to our ACP, one puts a nominal fee of 7,000 odd euros. Agreed with customs per T1. Does anyone know the same practice will be allowed from Britain to Dublin?
RSAP?
I'm not sure that's phrased appropriately.
If you could ask the author to rephrase it, and then we can answer through you to these questions. Yeah, would you? Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So more straightforward one here. Does SGS system allow for the printing of a TAD?
Yes. Yep. And we're also going mobile. So hopefully, when these customs will be able to agree that you can present a TAD on your mobile, then this will be feasible.
Okay, great. Does SGS need the actual importer or exporter to nominate them, SGS, as direct representative?
No.
Okay.
We have a relation with the transporter, and the transporter has to have of course, we need to have the details. The declaration must contain the consignee and the consignor, because that's part of the declaration that you have to present to the customs. But we have no relation with the consignee nor the consignor.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question there regarding the T2 coming in the way?
Mm-hmm.
I presume for a load of group, which we are allowed, because I've checked with the revenue, that we can put in one load of groupage in the description as per attached loading list. How do we work out the value for customs or put in the tariff code on the T2?
So the way we do it is we ask you have this list. So you will, in our application, you will say as per the attached list, or there might be a high-level description. But you will have to indicate the value, the total value of that particular consignment. And if you have several of those, the software will add, of course, all this invoice value. And as we don't have the tariff position here, we will just apply a fixed 25 or 27% customs debt value for this shipment.
25% customs debt value.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's okay with the customs authorities?
Yes, because then we know the customs requires that when you submit the declarations to any of the customs of the 28 member states, you have to indicate the value, the customs debt value for that particular journey. So TransitNet calculates this value as per the description I've just done, or if we want to be more precise, we can take the tariff position, which is it's available in the application, and then we include that amount into the declaration we send to customs. So customs, when they receive our declaration, they can always challenge us, but usually in 99.99% we are not challenged.
The name of the company that looks after the laptop in Mace, what's his name? You know the RHA's laptop? Huh? You know the laptop, who's the crowd in Nace who gets to look after the laptop?
Sorry, John, no, I might want to mute yourself there.
I didn't get the question, if it was a question for me.
I don't believe that it was, sorry.
Okay.
I have one more question there, lads. I'm sorry now. Let's say I'm bringing loads from Poland. Do you need to make a declaration in the country of origin, or is it just country of exit for the transit? I was a little bit confused on that end.
So, I mean, if you are transporting Polish goods to Ireland, yeah, the fact that you will open a T2 will describe this cargo as of European origin. So you don't need to have any additional certificates of proof of origin.
Yeah, so I don't need to do anything until I'm close to country of exit, let's say the Hook in Holland.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to bring it back to what you were saying about the groupage side of things. You said I need to do a declaration in Germany and Holland and France. So if I'm collecting in say 10 pallets in Netherlands and 10 pallets in Belgium and 10 pallets in northeast France and heading for Calais. So when do I do my declaration on your system to produce the transit?
It's basically up to you. Let's put it this way: you can do a transit. It depends to you, and of course the opening hours of the customs where the goods should be presented. So you could as well do a start in Netherlands, in Germany, a start plus a start in the first Netherlands. First Germany, second Netherlands, and then France. But you could as well take these 20 pallets with their own export declaration. You can take them to Calais, near Calais, where we and open these 3 declarations at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to you.
That's great. No, that solved that for me. Thank you.
Up to you, depending, as I said, on the working hours and the of the customs. And we are authorized consignor in certain location in the Netherlands, in Germany. So this means that our clients' journeys can start eventually at any point 24 by 7, or not per 7, but per 6 probably.
And you have a facility at Calais, yes?
Yes, we are partnering. We are finalizing the partnership with a company there. So we will have our staff there, or they will put their stuff. This is the nitty-gritties that we are working on now. But this will be available there. And the motto is really this is about 30 kilometers before the facilities. the T2s can be open 24/7 there.
Okay.
Hi guys, I have a question in regard to exports. Everybody seems to be worrying about imports, but I'm on the export side of things. In regards to the liability value for something going out on a T2 from Dublin to Heathrow that's going to fly then onto Asia, what do you envisage the liability value of a trailer load of cargo might be, especially if I've got 2 or 3 million euros worth of cargo on the trailer?
So that would roughly, if you take 3 million euro invoice value, roughly speaking, this would be 25% of that amount should be considered as the guarantee that you need. So basically, it's 750 something. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you very much. I have one other small question in regard to what you were saying about the GVMS system, that you will have access via your system here. I'm being told by my colleagues in the UK who were on a BIFA call last week that the GVMS system will not be ready for the 1st of January. Yeah. Have you heard the same?
Yes, we have heard the same. We are in the process of interfacing. So the specification have been issued, I think only 6 weeks ago. So we are in the process of...
Hi, Richard, Declan here, Declan Brogan. Give us a ring when you get a chance on this phone, thanks.
Oh, okay, so we are told it's going to be ready, but from the different part of the British, let's say, sector, they say it's not going to be ready. And if it's not ready, then how will they ensure that the trucks loading will be ready from a customs point of view? That's still a kind of a question mark. And we have experienced a great collaboration with Irish customs. They were very fast and friendly and so forth. English customs is very difficult. It's slow and it's so political, so that if you ask a simple question as the one you have pushed, it goes, well, then it goes through thousands of hypotheses before you get a kind of, I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much. And just in regards to that, so you will hopefully at some stage have access to the GVMS.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I need a GB EORI number to input via your system for the GVMS?
No.
Be able to use my Irish one?
No. We have, because the point, this is the point that we have discussed with the authority doing the GVMS. Actually, the EORI used for your GVMS through TransitNet will be the SGS EORI.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you. That's great.
There's one other question in the chat box here. How do you envision handling cargo transiting UK via land bridge with Northern Ireland as the destination?
This is as Northern Ireland is part of Ireland. It is considered as EU territory from a customs perspective. So therefore, you will need to have a T2 starting from anywhere in Europe, Calais, etc. Again, crossing the land bridge, and while entering in Dublin, the T2 will be automatically closed. That's the smart approach of Dublin Customs, and the goods will be then considered as free circulation up to Northern Ireland.
Super. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up there for today. We've gone 15 minutes over time, but thank you very much for the presentation and for taking so long to answer questions as well.
Right, sorry, I had one. I just joined in there late. The ENS declarations from the UK to mainland Europe on, say, a transit from Ireland to Europe. Will your system do that, or do we do that separate?
No, we do that. Okay.
And when it becomes mandatory to do it into the UK, I'm assuming you'll do that as well?
Yes, we are. This would be the 1st of July 2021 if they stick to this, and the idea is indeed that we will do that as well.
Okay, so
in principle, You're sorry.
In principle, you do your transit declaration from Ireland to Europe, and you look after all the ENSs involved.
You are right. Yeah, yeah.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What we are trying to on the French side, we are with our partners in Calais. We are also well, but this is not for you, because no, this goods coming from west, let's say continental Europe to Ireland don't need to have an X declaration. So sorry, I was saying if you are bringing goods from Poland to UK, because you could do that as a Irish transporter, then in this particular case you would have goods with an export declaration as well, and this export declaration will have to be also presented at exit of the European territory. So we don't have the connection with this French exit system, but in Calais you will be able to have this export declaration also presented for leaving the territory of the EU. Okay, this is, again, I repeat, this is for goods to destination UK.
A lot of UK companies are talking of using a transit declaration from middle UK to middle Europe. So I'm assuming, have you thought of that? And would you be also doing the UK export declaration then? The reason that they're doing this is because they think it's the easiest way to get over the time difficulties in getting through the UK. Sorry.
This is true. So we, as SGS, we have a broker. We have a tool, an application software that enables our clients to create an export declaration. So it's an access. I'm talking about under the control of Brendan, but this software is called I2I. But we will give you the details after this call, and so we could easily provide this service. This software is available. Of course, I don't know the business model of this software, but basically the idea is that through this service, through SGS, you can also provide export declaration, not using the TransitNet application, but using this other application. And then we have a link between this I2I platform and TransitNet, where we can pump this data from the I2I into TransitNet, so reducing the load, the workload of data capture.
And are you thinking of using that same software for UK exports to Ireland?
Yes, definitely. Yes, it's the same. Yeah,
and UK imports?
We I2I Easy GTA are doing import, so we are building up these capacities first as a software as a solution, but also with staffing that is going to be that we will have in SGS UK. I suggest that we can take that discussion apart, maybe with Brendan, and then Brendan can put you in contact with our colleagues in the UK for these particular services.
Okay, thank you.
It's not that I want to walk away, but it's best to be more precise.
Yeah.
Okay, super. Thank you very much for your time today. So we'll end the call there and release you to your afternoon. And we'll hopefully get the PowerPoint and we'll issue it to members in the coming couple of hours.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for inviting us. And again, if I can only just invite you to consider the timestamp we have ahead of us. So if you really want to go for transit, the sooner you register, the better you will be prepared. Okay, thank you very much for inviting us, and have a nice afternoon to you all.
Yeah, to the first floor, yeah?
Thanks to you all. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All the best.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. All the best.